What is up, everyone? How's it going? Welcome to the live stream. We are on Facebook and also YouTube for this live stream. So everyone, how's it going? Hope your week so far has been going great. It's already almost hump day, which is awesome. These weeks just seem to be flying by like crazy. But we got a Tundra TRD Pro in our driveway. We just got rid of the Tacoma TRD Pro, sent that off to Drive Shop back up in Atlanta. That was fun. Have about 3 videos I think I recorded with that truck coming your guys' way. And I just released the last bit of the long form content for the GX 550 Overtrail that I had. So hopefully you guys enjoyed all the long form GX content. I got some short form GX content coming and then a bunch of short form stuff for the Tacoma, also long form stuff for the Tacoma. But we are now sitting with a Tundra TRD Pro in Terra in the driveway. So I posted that over on the community tab for you guys. You guys can put in whatever you guys want to see on that post with the Tundra. But big thing that I'm going to do is, do I regret selling my 3rd gen Tundra, being in one again, comparing that TRD Pro to my current Tundra TRD Pro, and whatever other video ideas you guys have in the comments. But if you guys are new to the live stream, what is up? How's it going? Basically, you can put in whatever comments you guys want me to answer, and I will answer it to the best of my ability for you guys, and we will also we'll also give you like more of an answer instead of just like a super short answer. But Tyler, what is up, man? How's it going? I shared the live stream with my community page on YouTube. Dude, Tyler, thank you guys so much. Go check out Tyler's channel, guys. Trying to support your channel by leaving comments, liking the live stream and videos. That helps out creators so much, guys, if you're able to leave a like or comment something real quick. I do enjoy the community that we have, but I can tell sometimes in certain videos where people enjoy it more versus other videos where they don't. But sometimes, you know, just a comment like, hey, John, what's up, or whatever, it means a lot to creators. But if you guys don't enjoy the content, I totally get that too. So that's a way that I'm able to gauge that stuff. Zach, how's it going? Cripple Creek Studios, Elijah, Ryan, Danny Drives, what is up, man? You guys can go over to Danny Drives' channel too. He just had a Tacoma. Roy, what is up? Sam, how's it going? Says, John, what's going on? Another press vehicle, you keep on winning. Heck yeah. This, though, so far, unfortunately, as of right now, is the last press vehicle I have scheduled. So there was a Toyota Sequoia, but a tree fell on it. I feel so bad. I found that out. A tree fell on it. So they're getting that one fixed up. It may make its way back into the fleet, but really the Atlanta fleet doesn't have that many vehicles. Still waiting on more Land Cruisers to come in, like a normal Land Cruiser grade, a 1958 grade, some Sequoia stuff, and also the Tacoma Trail Hunter. Hopefully we'll get that soon. But that is one of the driving factors as to why I would like to go a little bit further south, is to tap into the Miami region for press vehicles and whatnot. So that way we would get a lot. We would get a lot of stuff, pretty much everything, not just the trucks that really pertain to my channel, but everything, cars, sedans, all that stuff, the crossovers, a lot more of like the RAV4 type, the Lexus RXs, the Lexus cars, everything. We would get a lot of that stuff by moving down that way. So I know a lot of stuff won't be popular on the channel, but it will help it grow. And for those that just like all of the Toyota car products and stuff, you guys may enjoy that. Mr. Sheep, how's it going? Chris up in here, what is up? That Cyber truck review / short was fire. Yeah, guys, I got to review a Tesla Cybertruck in the last YouTube short. I feel like there's a long freaking hair that just keeps annoying me right now if I can't feel it or see it. Yoda Mafia, what up, Ryan? How's it going, man? I will see you next week. I just got off the phone, well, not off the phone, but a few hours ago with Jeff. He said that the sliders and the roof rack is ready, and we are waiting for the pre-collar kit to come back from anodizing. But when it does, he said hopefully it'll be sent out this week, so we should be good for late next week for Land Cruiser stuff, guys. More stuff with Land Cruiser. I enjoy getting these press vehicles, but you know, sometimes it allows the normal vehicles that we have to kind of not get as much limelight, or the spotlight, I should say. So we do have a lot of modifications to do. One coming up Thursday with the Tacoma, more stuff for the Tundra. Actually installing a pretty cool thing for the Tundra on Thursday as well. So it should be nice. Sam, what's up, man? Yep. Oh, yeah, I already answered Sam's. Sorry. For everyone tuning in, what is up? Welcome to the live stream. Started out by saying we got rid of the Tacoma on Monday. We got a Tundra TRD Pro in Terra, so we're back into a third-gen Tundra. Got about 3 long-form videos for the Tacoma coming for you guys. Some short-form content as well. Very, very excited for that. Kai says, what are your thoughts on replacing the skid plates on the Pro for steel and adding full coverage? Not necessarily the steel that's really needed, but full coverage is very nice, especially to cover the transmission. A nice actual thicker gas tank skid plate would be really nice as well. All that stuff is welcomed, especially if you're really going to off-road your vehicle. Now, I really off-roaded my Tacoma out in Moab, and there were some areas that I really wish that the truck actually had some beefier skid plates. But for the most part, unless you're really going to be bashing your vehicle on rocks, you don't really need the skid plates. But if you have the extra money and you want to do that stuff, I would definitely recommend it. Cali Race, to me, has the best prices on their stuff. And if you use my code, you save 5% on Cali Race's site. I had their stuff on my 3rd-gen Tacoma, and it was really, really good. CJ, what is up, man? Says, what do you think the best trim level is for the GX 550? I think that the best overall trim level in looks and kind of price is going to be just a normal Overtrail. Just a normal GX Overtrail, I feel like, is the one that I would want to get. A premium is cool for the most part, like with that price, but I mean, really, if you can find a GX 550 Overtrail with no extra options and any BS stuff like that on it from dealers, I really think that that is the best way to go about it if possible. Jimmy, what is up, man? How's it going? Sean's up in here too. Daniel, hope you're doing well as well. Thanks for commenting that you guys are here. I really appreciate it. Cripple Creek says, how's House Hunters Florida going? So far, so good. Sorry, my wife just texted me. I can do both comments on both. They come up as both. And I'm not sure if you guys can see it here, right? So she just texted me, can you see Facebook comments as well? I can. So Cripple Creek, you guys can see his little thing. The C right there, it says from YouTube. And then like Robert right here, you can see the F for Facebook. So comments are coming in on both, which is really awesome. I do like this this setup. It seems to be working pretty well. But how's House Hunters Florida coming? I look every single day for new houses and everything like that. I do know basically what we are looking for. We kind of had a higher budget in mind, but the more we think about it, the more appealing a cheaper home kind of sounds. And it's also a home on some land that we were trying to find. So it is a little bit of a needle in a haystack while also trying to be a little bit close to an up and growing area. So yeah, there are probably 5 to 6 that are on my mind right now. If we were to go down there, let's say next week, there would probably be 5 to 6 that we would, that we would go look at, with 2 of them really being ones that I would heavily consider us putting offers in on. So it's going, it is not slowing down. But yeah, hopefully we will pull the trigger within the next month to 2 months or so. It would be nice to just get it done with and off of my mind. Robert says, ready for the new 4Runner to drop. Any updates on release? No updates yet. But it is looking like January, February timeframe is when a lot of dealers are expecting to get them. People that I've been talking to that are trying to get allocations early and stuff too. We are looking potentially around January, February timeframe. And keep in mind too, guys, if you're on the West Coast or you're near the West Coast, You guys are going to get the vehicles first, and then they will make their way across the United States. So if you're able to somehow get it allocated and work with a West Coast dealership, I would highly recommend you guys trying to do that. It's the same with the Land Cruiser once they come over, and the GX once they come over from Japan. They hit the port in the West Coast, and then they start making their way across the United States. But as of right now, I am really, really leaning towards a hybrid 4Runner. It seems like with this kind of delay of the 4Runner that most likely the normal gas engines and the hybrids should come out around the same time. If not for some reason, then I will pivot towards a non-hybrid, but I definitely am trying my hardest to get one of the first 4Runners in the nation for you guys. And I don't know yet if I am going to get a TRD Pro or a TRD Off-Road. I would like to do a TRD Off-Road just because it makes more sense to build a TRD Off-Road versus a TRD Pro, because like if I get a TRD Pro, it's going to be kind of like the Land Cruiser, right? Where it's going to be stock for a little bit, which is not the most popular thing to do, and then slowly build it up. Whereas with the 4Runner, if I just go balls to the walls right away, we could do that. Maybe flip it or give it away in like 3 months and then roll into a TRD Pro. That may be how we do the 4Runner build, since it may be pretty quick. And I don't like building my trucks very fast. The Tacoma was the absolute fastest I've ever built a vehicle. It was fun. The content was great. You guys loved it. Instagram loved it. TikTok, like all the socials loved it being built that fast because it's something new. But like me as an owner, I was kind of like, I didn't get to really enjoy it stock or this and that and like kind of trade-offs and stuff, right? Whereas like the Land Cruiser, we've had it for like 3-4 months now, have done a lot of stuff with its stock, haven't really off-roaded it, which we don't have off-road stuff here in Florida, but we got to enjoy it stock. My wife got to drive it stock. We had the dogs in it. We've road tripped with it, done all this stuff in its platform of how Toyota intended the Land Cruiser to be, right? So now, if I put those bigger tires on it and keep them on it, a little bit of a lift, some different items and stuff for the vehicle, I will appreciate what the vehicle was and then what I basically made it. So, yeah. Andrew, what is up, man? Says, when are you installing that Cali raised grill light bar? That should be going in hopefully this weekend. So there is some more Tacoma content coming for you guys. But yes, that should be going in this weekend. It's actually just sitting right there on the ground next to me. I need to wash the Tacoma first, though. It's very, very dirty, and I don't like how dirty it is. So with that ceramic film on it, though, or ceramic coating on it, it makes it very easy to really clean it up. So I just need to do that. The NAB says, when are we going to get trim level information on the 4Runner? I'm gonna guess that will probably be around December into January. Now, I'm not sure legal-wise, right, if Toyota has to announce pricing, or something before the next year. I have no idea, like, what all goes into that. But typically for, like, pricing and trim level information and all that stuff, they give it to us during these drive events. And then there's an embargo for it, and then, like, within 2 weeks or whatever, we get to tell you guys what the pricing is and all that stuff. So we don't have an official date or even month of when the 4Runner drive event will be. So I'm going to, ballpark anywhere from December into January is when we'll get like all the hard information, hopefully on 4Runner, like all the details that we really, really want to know. Daniel, what's up? Sean, what's up? Jimmy's doing good. That's awesome. How's everyone doing? Glad everyone is enjoying the live stream. I see comments coming in on Facebook and also on YouTube as well. If you guys can leave a like, I truly, truly appreciate it. AIK says, can you do an off-road comparison of a GX Overtrail against the LX600? I don't think, unless we own a GX eventually in the future, that I will be able to get both of those side by side at my own residence, but that would be something in the future at a Lexus event to really remember for you guys. I personally think that the GX Overtrail is a bit better than the LX600 for certain things with that EKDSS system, the rear locker, all that stuff, the tinier width, like it's not as wide, has the same wheelbase and stuff, right? So I think that the GX is without off-roading both of them, I feel like the GX is better on paper than the LX600 would be. But that would be something to do both of them side by side to really figure it out. Tyler, what up, dude? Says, hey, TRD John, how do you feel about the power plant in the new 4Runner? I'm a big fan. I mean, it's a 4-cylinder, which not a lot of people like. But after having that Tacoma hybrid for a week and then getting back into my Tacoma which isn't underpowered by any means, but definitely not as much power, and then just how this Land Cruiser drives, it's hard, guys, but like I think that I will only buy the 2.4 hybrid in the future. It is such a good little punchy engine, and it has so much low-end torque. It comes on so quick. That Tundra hybrid that I have in the driveway, we took it to go get ice cream last night. I know it was bad. My stomach hated me for it, guys. It was so bad. My stomach was so wrecked yesterday. But as I was just driving that, kind of like I was driving the Tacoma in the last week, and I just like gave it some gas, it was like, and then it like went up and went. Whereas in the Tacoma, like you give it like any sort of gas, it's like right there at the 1700 RPM. It's just like whoop, like real fast. I really enjoy the hybrid assist that the iForce Max gives the Tacoma. So that's why I'm like really leaning towards the hybrid and the 4Runner, just because I want it to be as good as the Land Cruiser, the better gas mileage and everything, tons of power. And I've experienced like the normal non-hybrid with my Tacoma, and it's been great. I really enjoy it. But dude, after just having the Tacoma TRD Pro hybrid for a week, like my mind was just, it was swapped. It was swapped. Because like for the Tundra, I'm fine with just the normal twin turbo V6. Like it's totally good for me. The hybrid's very good with the Tundra, but it's not like revolutionary and stuff, like in terms of the normal and the hybrid. The Tacoma, dude, you could tell like the normal Tacoma and the hybrid, they are two completely different driving trucks. Julio, what is up, man? Says, John, we are here in Tennessee. By the way, week 1 with the GR Corolla in the books. I already found the sweet spot for my clutch, and I've been driving under 85 miles an hour. Dude, that's all good. That's hilarious. That's great. I hope more information comes out about that car versus just like the internet's take of it. I hope that actual Toyota information comes out on why they really voided that guy's warranty. So that'll be interesting to see how that happens. But I'm sure if you, let's just say this, I'm sure if you keep your truck or your GR Corolla within the proper scope of changing your oil, and also if you have any issues with your GR Corolla, you take it to the dealership and have them fix it, I think you'll be okay with it, man. Robert, how's it going, man? Mr. Sheep says, here is a video idea for you, pros and cons of your TRD Pro Tacoma. So my Tacoma is a TRD off-road, but that's a very good kind of idea as well, which let me know after I drop the video this week if you guys want me to go more in detail with this. But I did do a TRD Pro Tacoma versus TRD off-road video while I had the Tacoma TRD Pro, kind of explaining why you would want to buy the TRD off-road over the TRD Pro and why you would want to buy the TRD Pro over the TRD off-road. So there is that. I could go more in depth with my own vehicle, pros and cons for sure. But I do kind of have a video like that coming your guys' way. Michael, what up, dude? Says, hey, John, quick question. Talking with all these engineers, have you got their opinion on the 1,000-mile break-in oil change? I have not. That would be good. Just to ask them, hey, do these engines come pre-broken in and stuff? But, I mean, per their manual, they don't say anything about it, you know? People do it just for feeling good, and you totally can get an oil analysis if you want to spend that extra money to make sure your engine is breaking in good. I mean, changing the oil should not hurt it. It's just, you know, you're using your little Toyota Care thing 9,000 miles early, or however you drive your particular vehicle. So, I mean, you could totally do it. There's nothing wrong with doing it at all. So it doesn't hurt the vehicle, nor does it, in my opinion, really benefit you, honestly, at all. Unless, like, the first 1,000 miles, you're just flooring the absolute piss out of your truck and towing it and everything, then yeah, maybe do that. But that does go against the actual break-in period for the truck too. Tyler says, hey, John, how are we doing tonight? Doing good, man, doing good. Hope everyone is doing very good too. But yeah, Ryan also does agree with this. I mean, oil is cheap, engines are not. So, I mean, if you really want to just change the oil, like, yeah, go ahead. It's what, 120 bucks or whatever, which is better than an engine down the line too, you know? But yeah, I don't know. It's unpopular for me. It's a modern car, and this isn't John saying like, oh, he doesn't keep on to his vehicles long enough, whatever. Like, anyone can make that argument, but like my 4Runner, I've done everything by the book, has 40,000 miles on it. I do need to oil change it though, because not based on mileage, but based on time, the oil has been sitting in that 4Runner for about 6 months. So I do need to change it for sure. Where was I at? Where was I at? Tyler says, dang, I missed it. I forgot you were live. Don't worry about it. We try to do every Tuesday is our live stream. It seems to be working for a lot of people, so don't even worry about it, though, if you almost missed it. What about the Rigid Adapt light bar? So that came off of my Tacoma. Jeff Westcott was awesome enough to provide me that for sponsorship of, you know, showcasing his business, driving all the way out from Florida to Arizona and stuff. As much as I loved having that free, expensive light bar, the wind noise was absolutely atrocious. It was so bad to be running a big, huge light bar like that on top of the Tacoma that I just couldn't deal with it. So I took it back to Jeff and them after I was done doing a whole bunch of off-roading and stuff with the truck. And I said, Jeff, I appreciate you giving me this light bar, but you may take it back. And can I just get a normal wind fairing for my roof rack? He's like, you want to give it up? I was like, dude, it makes so much noise. I just can't deal with it. He's like, oh, dang, okay, good to know. So like for him, it was good R&D if, you know, someone saw that and they call their Jeff's people up in the front office and stuff and say, hey, what do you guys think about this? They could tell him, you know, hey, it's awesome. The light performance is great, but it definitely makes a lot of noise. And, you know, if looking back in hindsight, I wish I did just keep it for like around here in Florida. Because I'm not, you know, really driving the truck that much, but it was just the thought of driving that truck back from Arizona, like up to Utah and then to Vegas and then back to Arizona and then to Texas and then back to Florida. I was like, I can't deal with this wind noise. So in hindsight, it would have been nice to just get another wind fairing from Jeff and like keep that one for here in Arizona or for here in Florida, because, you know, short driving bits with the Tacoma, it's not that big of a deal. But when you're on the freeway going 75 and it's just woo 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 howling for just hours on end, I was not about it. So it just made a lot of noise. Mr. Sanjeev from Montreal Aviation says, hey John, could you do a review on the Toyota Sienna XSE hybrid? I really want to buy one. Hopefully I can get my hands on one if we do move down to the Tampa area. But I would go over to Toyota Jeff's channel. I'm sure that he has been able to cover the Toyota Sienna. That is one of Toyota's vehicles that they just cannot keep in stock for some reason. It is absolutely crazy. No worries, Tyler. Not sure if you're still in here, but I got you, dog. And give me a call. We need to talk about that stuff. But yeah, where was I at? Gosh dang it. But yeah, the Sienna, it is so hard for Toyota to keep that in stock. It's crazy. So Mike says, John, what happens to the press vehicles once they have made their rounds? They go into auction, or they go up for auction to where dealerships can buy the vehicles and then resell them on their lots. So basically like a used vehicle, it'll come like this particular Tundra behind me, out in the driveway, has close to 15,000 miles on it already. So, you know, maybe a dealership gets it for a decent price. They're able to somewhat, you know, do that savings onto the customer. I doubt it, right? But it goes up to auction. Dealerships can buy them and then sell them at their dealerships for, you know, decent price or whatever, and they will should have the Toyota either gold warranty or whatever it is on them. It should still have a warranty on it. Scotty says, do lifts void warranty? Looking at doing a Westcott 2.5 with some 35s for the Tundra. Lift kits and all that stuff does not void your entire warranty, right? So you guys need to look up, for those wondering about warranty questions and stuff, look up the Magnuson-Moss Act. Essentially, whatever you do to your vehicle, right, whether it be headlights like I just did on the 4Runner right there, whether it's bigger tires like I've done on the 4Runner, lift kits, whatever you put onto your vehicle, MagnaFlow exhaust, right, like I put that on my Tacoma. Let's say the Windows motor stops working on my Tacoma, right? The truck is lifted, bigger tires, all this stuff on the Tacoma. A crappy dealership will say, well, your truck's lifted, it has all this stuff, the warranty is voided. No, you have to prove, right? A dealership with that Magnuson-Moss Act has to prove that a particular item made a component fail. So if I put an exhaust on my truck and they say, hey, your warranty's void because of the exhaust, no, it's not. Like, how does an exhaust make a window fail? Now, if you are to put 40-inch heavy tires on your truck, right, and a lift kit, and the hubs fail, right, and let's say some aftermarket wheels that are stanced out and all this stuff, if you put all that on your truck and your hubs fail, or let's say you're having brakes, like brake issues, then a dealership may say, hey, you have way heavier tires on this truck, the brakes are fading faster, you're wearing out the hubs and the bearings way quicker than normal, we're not going to cover it. That makes sense, right? So with a lift kit, Westcott Designs lift, I believe Jeff is getting it approved for the AAP program, or it may already be getting approved for the AAP program. So like his lift 9 times out of 10 will not allow or not lead to a warranty claim getting denied for like suspension kits and stuff. 35-inch tires, you know, they're a little bit bigger. You just have to worry about premature wear and tear. Krit Sada from Thailand. Dude, what is up there, man? Dude, Thailand has some very cool vehicles. He also goes on to say, what do you think about the Hilux? The Hilux is sick. They have the Hilux down there. I've also seen the Scout. The Scout is sick. I would probably do a Scout down there. I believe it's called a Scout over a Hilux, honestly, in Thailand. That thing is just so cool. All the builds and everything people are doing with it. But appreciate you watching from over there, man. That is so freaking cool. Roman says, John, did you add 3M film protection on the Land Cruiser, and what are your thoughts on it? So I personally did not, but it did come with it. So it has a film solution to about right here. You guys can see, whoa, where's my finger? Like right here. It's all along the side. So I mean, it's nice. I would have rathered for the price that I paid for it, it'd been like the whole hood and everything too, you know, in a better film. But for the most part, I mean, it's on there and it's protecting the front end. So I'm okay with it. You know, obviously, if you're going to do it aftermarket, you can get thicker film, self-healing film, better film, all that stuff too that won't like fade over time. Samson says, "Are you miss having a 3rd gen Tundra yet?" I miss aspects about the 3rd gen Tundra. Yeah, Ryan. So going back to the oil and stuff, Ryan says an early oil change didn't even save his engine, which is true. I was going to bring that up, not to Ryan, but like just in general too. But I don't really miss my personal 3rd gen Tundra. I do, like, I miss having the features that truck has, you know, like the bigger screen, the wireless CarPlay and all that stuff. Just better driving, honestly, than like the 2nd gen does. Even though the 2nd gen does have that V8, I don't know. The new ones just drive better. They just do. That being said, this TRD Pro that I have in my driveway, the center console, again, it makes a little rattly sound. So far, there's no wind noise, honestly, that I really hear with this truck. And another thing, too, is that the turning radius is horrible. It is so bad on this TRD Pro that's in my driveway. So it's going to be an interesting comparison, TRD Pro versus TRD Pro video. And I will, you know, touch on the fact, like, if I miss a 3rd gen or not, you know. But I don't know. I am really looking forward to the refreshed Tundra in the future. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm not sure if I will pick up another third gen in between, but I'm really looking forward to the refresh. Hopefully, a lot of stuff has been addressed with that truck, and then also it's in the new suite of kind of technology, right? Because the third gen Tundra, it's kind of dabbling in a little bit of Toyota's older stuff with a lot of their newer stuff too, whereas the 3.5 gen will be like all new stuff, like the Land Cruiser's kind of dash and the Tacoma's dash, and all USB-Cs, hopefully the fast charging, all that stuff as well in that. Mr. Sheep says, do you prefer iForce or iForce Max hybrid engine? Both in different vehicles. So I prefer, honestly, the normal iForce in the Tundra, and I prefer the iForce Max in the Tacoma, actually. The Tacoma just seems a lot peppier, man, for what it is when you upgrade to the to the hybrid one. Even with the Dumbo ears, yes, this new TRD Pro does have the Dumbo ears. The second gen turning radius is like a go-kart compared to the third gen, for sure. And added to that too, I mean, the TRD Pro, it's so much worse than like the normal third gens are too. Just with that little bit of an extra track, it just makes it just so bad. Spartan Man, what is up? How's it going? He says, what's up, everybody? Cripple Creek says, my new 24 Toyota 4Runner has some guidelines on the first 1,000 miles. I've done 684. Plan on changing the oil at 1,000, then 5,000 Toyota Care at 10,000. Definitely can't go wrong with that. And again, for peace of mind, for $100 or whatever it is, just run it. Just do it, for those that want to do that. Michael says, what are your thoughts on doing PPF wrap on a new truck? Do you think that it would be worth the high cost? For me personally, where I live, it's not. It just depends on what you're doing with the vehicle, Some of those high-end ones get upwards of like $6,000. Like that's a lot. That's a lot. They have to, take the vehicle apart, take certain things off. You run the risk of breaking, plastic tabs on a lot of these modern vehicles. Like in my mind, unless you want the car like uber perfect, if it's a very expensive car, I get it, but like on a lot of these new vehicles, I would rather get a good paint correction on the vehicle, get it ceramic coated, and call it a day, right? And then if there's any scratches or potential imperfections in the future, just get your detailer to really detail it up very, very good, and most of the imperfections will be able to go away. So, and you'll still be under that $6,000 price. It just depends on what you're going to do with your car. Like if you're really going to go off-road and just bash the crap out of it, then yeah, maybe the PPF would be a smart thing to do. But me personally, I can't swallow that like $6,000 price almost with some of the stuff. Alan says, what's up, John? After becoming a new homeowner, I keep finding myself needing more and more cargo space after hauling many long items of lumber and drywall. My LX 570 was barely enough. So congrats again on being a new homeowner, but that's just one of those things you got to think about. You're like, is this just because of current projects with the house, or is this how it's always going to be, right? So for me, I need to always have a truck in our driveway. I've tried to be without a truck for a little bit. That was very hard. So I will probably always have a truck in the driveway. And if I wasn't able to, depending on your house, man, or your HOA or whatever, maybe consider getting a trailer. You could pick up a decent trailer on Facebook Marketplace for like $400 to $1,000, right? Like depending on what type of trailer you need. And if you could fit it on the side yard or back behind your house or something like that, that would be awesome. Then you just load up the trailer to the LX whenever you need it, and then park it whenever you don't need it. So a trailer will work wonders for sure. Elizabeth says, let's go back to talk about your MagnaFlow exhaust. What a fun video. Thanks for all the dedication and hard work. That was a lot. That was a lot of work for sure. But it was a good one. And I felt like people really needed the comparisons from stock to their spec one that they have, and also the Overland series. The spec is still sitting right there. I do have it for sale on Facebook Marketplace for like super, super cheap for anyone that wants it. in my local area. I am not going to attempt to ship that unless you really want to pay for the shipping. I can only imagine how much the shipping of that would be from UPS and stuff. But yeah, it's that was a good video. I really enjoy the MagnaFlow on the Tacoma. It sounds great. I just really want to pair it with an intake, just to hear a little bit more of the exhaust, and also to hear the turbo spool up. I think that would be really good. Victor says, I want the bed scene lighting on my truck's bed, but I don't know what that means at the end. Maybe a little bit of a typo. The bed scene lighting on that Tacoma TRD Pro that I had, it was bright. So I have that coming in short form content, as well as the long form video for that Tacoma. HJ says that I have a new Tacoma TRD Off-Road, want to upgrade the wheels and tires, Westcott pre-collar kit, lift kit with Nittos. Methods would I get rubbing from those tires? I don't think you would with that configuration at all. As long as, I don't think that those are wider than 12.5. So I think you should be good with that, especially with putting the pre-collar kit on it with the plus 25 offset. Should be good. Should be good. All right, and I do appreciate that you guys have sent a couple comments back and forth. So we do get a little bit behind sometimes on comments here on the live stream. So I will get to them eventually. You know, maybe not right away, because I do like to give people, you know, just more than just a quick, you know, half-ass answer, basically. So I do appreciate that you guys sent those in a couple times. I see you, HJ Creative, and there was one more, but I don't see it anymore. But yeah. But hope you guys are doing well this week and stuff. What goals do you guys have set for this week? Man, this week for me, it started off a little rough. I've been sleeping a little bit too much lately, and I just need to get up and do like more crap, you know? I don't know if I'm just over the summer or what, or if my mind is just somewhere else and it's not even here anymore. I have no idea. But turning it around with the live stream, making it good, posting content, talking with you guys, it's just one good way to get up out of the funk, you know. Samson says, can't wait to see the mud bath color. So going back to 4Runner, right, like I really want the TRD Pro. I don't know why, but I just really wanted the TRD Pro 4Runner. It doesn't have the ISO seats. It has the best interior, I feel. It's just really nice. It has the Fox suspension and stuff up underneath, and I have a TRD Pro 4Runner right now, and I just enjoy the TRD Pro. But personally, I really love the Everest color. It looks so freaking cool, and I really just want a TRD off-road in the Everest color as a hybrid. I just think that it's just so cool. But mud bath looks great. I love the sparkle of it. I'm glad that Toyota finally is doing a TRD Pro color again with some flake and some sparkle to it, versus, you know, just a flat color that just gets scratched up super easily. Taurus says, how was the ride comfort in the Tacoma TRD Pro? It was okay. At first, and I didn't mention this in the video, but I'll mention it here on the live stream. If you guys are buying new Toyotas, for some reason, dealerships are just not paying attention to their PDIs. They're not paying attention to the PDIs, and that Tacoma, dude, it was bouncing all over the place. I'm like, what the heck is wrong with this thing? Like, it felt so bad. It felt like a rigid rock. I was like, wait a minute. And on the steering wheel, I went over. Yeah, had to select it, found the tire pressure. 60 PSI in those freaking tires. So there I was, airing down the tires in the vehicle and stuff. And I'm just like, how is that not good for a press vehicle? You know, because like me, I know Toyota, so I'm like, this is not right. Whereas, you know, let's say that truck made it somewhere else and someone else was driving it and they're like, this thing rides like crap. And they make a whole video about it driving like crap and being too bouncy, and that could discourage other people from buying it or whatever. When really it had 30 more PSI than it should have in the tires. But once I aired the tires down, The truck drove great. I feel like my TRD off-road was a little bit softer of a ride. In all fairness, I actually forgot to go up under the truck to make sure that the suspension setting was on the right setting that it should be for road use. The isodynamic seats were unique as a daily driver. So I don't know. I don't. It just sucks because I know how much like effort Toyota put into those seats for the TRD Pro, because it is meant to go off-road and go off-road fast, and it does well at that. But unfortunately, for those that buy the TRD Pro to just be a mall crawler, like those seats aren't it. Those seats aren't it for on-road driving, day-to-day use. Now, if you're have disposable money and you're buying that truck to just be a weekend warrior truck and go have fun with it out in the desert or however you want to have fun with it, then those seats are perfect. But as a daily for it, I don't know. I never realized how much I like to recline my seats and stuff while I'm driving just to like adjust my back and whatnot. First world problems, I know, but having to use a manual seat for those kind of sucks. And not only that too, but like if you have family, like some kids or whatever, the back seat is small. It is very, very small because of the ISO seats. For my wife and I, we don't have kids, so like if I bought that truck, like I'd be fine with it, but there are some trade-offs for sure. And you go on to say, I'm actually looking at getting my hands on the Trail Hunter in the near future. I'm assuming the ride quality will be similar to the TRD Pro. I feel like the ride quality would be better on the Trail Hunter just because of the different suspension. So I feel like the Trail Hunter will drive a little bit better on the road, honestly, than the TRD Pro would. Geez, $8K for PPF in the DFW area on a third-gen Tundra. That's just wild. Later, Ryan. Appreciate you coming in, dude. Justin says, just sold my Platinum on 37s. Need to figure out what I want next. Platy on 37s, man, so good. But I don't know about you, Justin, but I will never put 37s. They look cool, but I don't know if I could ever put 37s on a half-ton truck again. Unless someone makes 37s that aren't like a D-load rating or an E-load rating, like if Nitto does. I may look at other brands, too, of tires here in the future. But, like, yeah, it's they're heavy. They're very heavy for that truck. Spartan says, I wish I could see some pics of the new 4Runner as an SR5. Do we know when more content of the 4Runner will be coming out? I'm going to have to assume that we're going to get TRD Off-Road and SR5 and stuff at the drive event, which will be probably December, January, February timeframe. So it's a while, guys. It's killing me. I understand why Toyota, and I've talked to higher-ups at Toyota about this. I'm like, your guys' core audience is like SR5 and TRD Off-Road. Like, why do you guys not showcase this at reveals? And they're like, well, we showed the top of the line vehicle to show you all the features that will come on the vehicle. I'm like, okay, well, that makes sense. But like, still, with the Land Cruiser, we got the 58 and we got the Land Cruiser Premium. We got both. So at the 4Runner reveal, instead of the Limited, which I get, the Limited appeals to those who aren't going to take the vehicle off-road, right? But it really would have been nice to have the TRD Pro, the Trail Hunter, and either an SR5 or a TRD Off-Road. I don't know how much similar it would have looked than, maybe the Trail Hunter. I don't know. Maybe that's why they didn't do it. We'll see when we see them in the future, right? But like, I don't know. I just really wish that we were able to get more 4Runner models, especially too because there's so many of them, right? Like the Tacoma at launch, we got the TRD Sport, which was basically like kind of an SR5-ish, or TRD Sport, I should say, was kind of like what the TRD Off-Road was going to be. But then too, we had the Trail Hunter, we had the Pro, and we had a Limited. And then at Overland Expo, right after the reveal in Hawaii, we had the Pre-Runner. So the Pre-Runner kind of gave us a good glimpse as to what bits and pieces of the SR5 were going to be, while also giving us a whole nother trim. So like we got almost 5 different Tacomas within the first couple days of reveal, whereas the 4Runner, we are still only, unfortunately, at 3. And I really wish that you know, we would be able to see more of them for sure. But yeah. Appreciate everyone joining in, man. On a Tuesday. Brian, what the heck? Where did I get Brian from? Daniel says, do you have any plans to review cars as well? Toyota has several awesome looking cars coming in the next 2 years. Tell us everything about them, Daniel, right now in the comments. What cars? What do they have coming? But if they're anything like what we've been seeing, the Celica, the MR2, all this stuff, 100%, I have plans to showcase those for you guys. In the past, I'm not sure when you started to become a subscriber or a viewer here on the channel, but I was able to go to some GR events and stuff. I went to the GR Corolla, the Supra stuff, 86 events. I've been to some Corolla events too. So, I mean, like, I've showcased some cars just where I live for the press vehicles. I don't get many of them. So with me wanting to move somewhere else, I will get Lexus cars, I'll get Toyota cars. I really want to get my hands on a new Camry. That seems to be doing really well for content for people, and a lot of people are actually interested in the Camry. Dude, I want to drive the new Prius, right? Because, like, it looks really cool. So, but yes, I do have interest in doing car stuff. I know that it won't do well here on YouTube, but I don't care because, you know, if it helps some people out with a decision or if they're interested in the car, that's all that matters. But the car content will go pretty hard on like TikTok with the car content stuff. Pro Outdoor says, I have an underground Land Cruiser and been thinking about blacking out the roof. Thoughts on if I should go black with the A-pillar too? Probably not, because the A-pillar would stop there, right? And if you went all the way black up, that would be cool. But then back here, there's really no, like, if this continued like that, then I'd say yes, but maybe just do it black to right here, right? And then look at it, because it may be two things of film anyways, and then see. Or just do this and wrap it, right? You don't need to paint it, just wrap it. And if you don't like it, just peel it off. So I would definitely do the roof. The roof would look sick, black, and then the rest of the truck in underground. I think that would look really, really cool. Ryan says roof only. Yep, I agree. GR Prius, I've seen some renders of those. Yep. And Daniel says, yeah, the Celica, the new 86, the MR2, new Supra, new LC, and new RC. Also, too, don't know if you guys saw David from Automotive Press today, but whatever the LFA 2 or whatever the Lexus hypercar replacement is going to be, definitely won't get my hands on that to drive because I'm not, you know, freaking Throttle House or Pushing Pistons or like any of the high, you know, multi-million subscriber channels, and very rare cars like that. They really only get the invitations for those. But when I see one, I will definitely give you guys some sort of like a review for sure. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of cool cars coming for Toyota. These are all the ones too, Daniel, that I've seen in the rumor mills and also videos lately from Best Car and stuff too. So that'll be pretty sweet to hopefully see in the future. Hey, John, wait, am I missing someone? Can you anticipate how much poke I would have with that tire setup? I think it would be pretty dang close to flush. It'd be pretty dang close to flush, maybe like a smidge outside the wheel well, honestly, for that. Hey, John, one more question. Do you like your DJI Pocket 3? I love my Pocket 3. I got the whole creator combo kit with it and stuff, and it came with like an extra battery with the tripod, and I had it on the wheel of the Tacoma, and I drove away, and it just buried it into the sand when I was recording for you guys, but it worked still. So everything works still, which is awesome. And I love the Pocket. I love how easy it is, to use. The microphone that comes with it as well is just so solid and so good. I've been editing with iMovie, but I've been moving a lot of my stuff actually to CapCut I tried out Final Cut Pro. Final Cut Pro was just, it was good, but it was still like, I don't know. It's the more the professional way to go about things. CapCut could become a little bit better, but it also has a bunch of like AI tools and other stuff that really makes it really good. Like there's this one thing, you just highlight all your stuff. And right now during summertime in our area, dude, the cicadas are so bad. It is so insanely annoying how loud those damn bugs are. And one click in CapCut, I do voice isolation. And with the good quality microphone that's able to pick up good audio, and I click voice isolation, you only hear my voice. The short form content that I just made for TikTok and YouTube or Instagram about the Tacoma TRD Pro rear seat space versus my TRD off-road, dude, there was a jet flying over and the cicadas were going crazy. I clicked that button, you can only hear my voice. It's honestly like really cool. And now CapCut also has this new feature to where you could drag and drop like your long form content, or after you make a long form video, you could click make short form content from this and it'll automatically make short form content with captions. And then you could just kind of edit it how you want the video to be to make it perfect. If you don't care about your content, you could just boom, quickly upload that stuff. But like if you want to make the text better, make sure everything's good, it'll automatically make like 15 shorts for you out of your one thing that you could then push towards long form content. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool AI stuff. I know a lot of people don't like AI and you know, I don't like AI in certain regards, but other regards where it makes a physical worker actually better at their job to produce more, that's what I like. But when you're lazy about AI and you know, also other stuff that AI does, I'm not really like the best or the most thrilled about certain things of it. Also says maybe try Adobe Premiere. I could try Adobe Premiere. I have a Mac. I know that Premiere still does work really good with it. But I am enjoying the CapCut right now, honestly. Like it's actually doing really, really good. But maybe that's something in the future. If CapCut gets kind of annoying, maybe I should try Premiere next. Hey, I'm watching from Texas. Ride differences between Tundra and Sequoia TRD Pro. Honestly, like not a lot. They drive very, very similar. Man, I don't know. They drive very, very similar. I'm hopeful that I know this has nothing to do with the question, right? But I feel like the Tundra and Sequoia, if you're kind of, and maybe I need to get back into Sequoia again, but going from my SR5 Tundra that we had to our Sequoia TRD Pro that we had at the time, besides the power, like of the two different powertrains, it felt no different. Now, the 4Runner and Tacoma are kind of the same, right, looks-wise, but for the Tacoma's benchmark, they took the Tacoma, or I'm sorry, for the 4Runner's benchmark, they took the Tacoma TRD Off-Road, which was like one of the best performing ones, like with all their tests. They took those numbers and then started the 4Runner, like for years of development after that. So hopefully the 4Runner and Tacoma are different. Dude, honestly, Jesus, I can't tell any difference really between the Sequoia and Pro. That may just be me, but I can't really tell a difference between Tundra and actual Sequoia. John, did you like the TRD Pro 4Runner Fox shocks? I'm thinking about upgrading to them. I like the Fox shocks better than the Bilsteins just because of the they just ride better. They just ride better for sure. Blue STI says, why are the 25s being delayed? It is shortage of parts, basically. Changeover in the plant, I would have to assume as well. I don't understand why, because Toyota knew, like, they have all their vehicles planned out, right? So I don't know, honestly, like what their true excuse is, because they knew that this 4Runner was coming. But maybe just some hiccups with other vehicles and stuff prolong the delay, the changeover at the plant, a whole bunch of things. But still, like, they knew that the 4Runner was going to be now. So I don't know. I don't know what excuse it is, but that has to be my guess. And then Ryan says that too. Yeah, part shortage from what I remember. Yeah, so most likely a part shortage. And yeah. Torres says, I know it's speculation, but do you think that the first year run of these Tacomas will be reliable enough or wait a few years to work out the kinks? So per my interview with Sheldon, he's claiming that, a lot of the issues that come up with these trucks, they try to do and fix right away. So really waiting a couple years, yes, you should get more of a solid vehicle, right? But for the most part, a lot of these little things here and there, from what he says, they nip them in the bud, not in the butt, which someone also corrected me on. I guess that's the saying. I didn't know that. Right away. So you shouldn't have an issue. And honestly, if you are in the need for a truck, just buy the truck. It has a warranty. If something, it sucks, right? To be without a truck or have to take it to the dealership, but it's all under warranty. So, I mean, whether you buy it now or you wait 3 years, the warranty's 3 years, 36,000 miles or something like that. And the powertrain, I think, is even more mileage than that. So, yeah, it's, I would just buy it. I don't know. The Tacoma, knock on wood, so far, besides from a couple outliers, right, of some dudes with some transmission issues, a couple people blowing their freaking shock struts out, which, again, I don't know how because I've wheeled my truck pretty hard. And some things here and there, right? The Tacoma, again, knock on wood, has been off to a pretty smoothish start for the most part for a brand new truck. Mike says, how are those tires on the Tundra press vehicle? My thoughts are get used to my Tundra Pro when it gets here currently and then build. Currently being built. I think that the Falcons are fine. I'm not the biggest fan of them. Some people have wear and tear issues on theirs, but apparently Toyota has fixed the alignment issues, I believe, with the Tundra. So they're fine. They're nothing overly impressive, but some people like their Falcons. I don't know. I would rather put a little bit more aggressive tire on the truck, but it's totally not needed. It's looking at them side by side, that third gen compared to my second gen, it is a nice upgrade and actual AT kind of a style tire versus the Michelins that are on my second gen. We need a Toyota/Yamaha developed Supra, not this BMW crap. So I agree that would be cool, right? A 2JZ 2.0, right? A 3JZ or whatever. But the B58, that is a spectacular engine. Honestly, Ryan, the B58 is such a good engine. My only gripe with the Supra BMW partnership is just how much BMW that car is. Everything almost. So I do agree. Or just pull the engine from BMW that you helped co-develop, that you made reliable, right? You had all your input and stuff in. And then just put that in your own car. Just take the engine and just put it in your own new chassis and all that stuff. And then I felt like fanboys would be like, oh, crap, this is cool. I mean, they did kind of put it in their own car, right, because they developed it and all this stuff. But still, there's a lot of BMW in that car. I mean, even the key fob and the infotainment, it's all BMW. Best Car is saying that the next Supra will be Toyota only. Sounds like a real winner. I do agree with that. I've heard rumblings and stuff at Toyota events that, that partnership isn't everything that they wanted it to be. It's hard to get the cars from over there and QC stuff with those cars and everything. So, I mean, it will most likely be all Toyota. I'm curious if they're going to go all electric with it as well. I am interested to see the next generation of GR cars. I feel like that with the Corolla and America's response to the Corolla, holy crap, it's all Toyota, it's this, it's that. Maybe, hopefully, in my mind, I'm thinking this way, Toyota's oh wow, they love Toyota cars. It's yeah, we do. The Supra is a good car, honestly. I've driven a couple Supras and I really, really like the Supra. At the end of the day, though, I just still, like I said, it's just a lot of BMW under that car. Michael says, hey, John, I'm in the market for a 2020 or 21 2.5 Gen Tundra. Would you get a 1794 TRD Off-Road, a Platinum, or a TRD Pro? I'd personally get a TRD Pro just for the sole fact that the value will hold itself over time. If you plan on it being a forever truck, then I would go with the Platinum, honestly. I just like the interior a little bit better than the 1794. But if you're just looking for an all-around like features on the inside, plus holding its value over time, and you get all the off-road bits, I would go with TRD Pro all day. I would look for a 2021 Lunar Rock TRD Pro. I love my Voodoo Blue, don't get me wrong, and the only reason I did the Voodoo Blue is because I wanted a Voodoo Blue TRD Pro. But if I was like to go back on this, that I don't know if I would have gotten the Voodoo Blue just because of the interior, right? I would have probably looked for a 21 Lunar Rock, honestly. But I do love that Voodoo Blue. And we're going to make it good inside, right? Like if it wasn't for YouTube, me reaching out to companies, me going to be doing these installs and stuff for you guys for the truck to look at how things were going to be and whatnot for it. So like that was one of my driving factors too to getting the particular truck that I got is like, well, it doesn't have the screen that everyone wants, but I know that BeatSonic does a plug-and-play CarPlay kit that you could use with the OEM screen. So I have that coming for you guys to showcase that for you all. And then I'm going to upgrade the screen, and then I'm going to put different speakers in the truck, sound deadening material, all these little upgrades that I've done with the truck, right? It's for content, but it also helps other companies out and all that stuff too to showcase their products. So that's why I went with an older one. But if I didn't have the YouTube and like I was just in your mindset to buy one of those trucks, me personally, I would probably look for the very last year of the truck and whatever truck is going to hold its value over time, and that is going to be the TRD Pro for sure. Sean says over on Facebook, I had a 24 Tacoma off-road on allocation. The dealer called me and they said instead of 52, it was 62. Took my deposit back and got a 24 Tundra SR5 TRD Sport Premium for 58. I hope it was with a different dealership, Sean. Like that's like if you got a good price on it, then you got a good price on it. But still, if a dealership did that to me, I wouldn't take my money and then give it to them for another truck. But hey, if you're happy with it, you're happy with it. I'm not knocking you for what you did. But man, that's a slimy dealership, bro. I hope you took that money and took it somewhere else. But if not, congrats on the Tundra. 58, if that's out the door, that's a pretty good price for a TRD Sport Premium for sure, especially right now. With dealers giving discounts and stuff. Michael says I'm in Arizona, so the cool seats in a 1794 and Platinum are a big bonus, plus all the features and stuff on the Pro but the Pro is sick for sure. There was, like I said, a Voodoo Blue Platinum that I almost got, man, and I don't regret it because like I just like the Voodoo Blue TRD Pro, but it would have been cool for sure to go from a Platinum of a third gen to a Platinum of a second gen to just really see what it was about. Car Guy Online, thanks for joining in, man. Says DaVinci Resolve also has a voice isolation feature and it's incredible. Yeah, dude, CapCut had that too, or Final Cut Pro had it as well, but like it didn't get like everything gone. It wasn't that good. Maybe they've had updates over the last couple months, but I've kind of just given up on Final Cut Pro. But yeah, just dude, one click of a button and it's like perfect, and then you just make yourself like a little bit more bassy. It's awesome. It's so awesome. Instead of having to F with like all the sound levels and all that other crap, just freaking click a button and that's so cool. So yeah, I've heard good stuff about DaVinci Resolve as well. That may be, if I don't do CapCut again, well, I have it for like another year and a half. But the Pro features and stuff. But I've heard very good things actually about DaVinci Resolve. No worries, Sanjeev, and I hope I'm saying your name right. Thank you for watching the videos and the content, man, and supporting the channel. Juan says, I'm finally getting my TRD Sport from Florida. What reliable and affordable transport shipping company do you recommend? I'm not going to recommend one. Do your research on your own. God forbid I recommend one and it be bad and they F up your new truck. I personally have not used any. When I was thinking about shipping my Tacoma from Florida to Arizona before I ultimately ended up driving it, I was getting bids and stuff on UShip with companies that had very good reviews, but ultimately it was cheaper for me to just drive the truck. So, if you have the available time and you really want to learn about your vehicle, I just think that everyone should do this if they can. Just book a one-way flight, bro. Go get the truck and road trip. Just if you can afford the time and you can afford that because it's going to be cheaper than shipping, or get with the dealership and see if they could facilitate shipping. Maybe they can. That would be the first one because they could potentially facilitate it cheaper. But dude, you get to see our country. You get to drive, get to know your new vehicle and stuff, road trip a little bit. It's just nice to get out on the open road. That's what I would personally do. But as for companies, you could go to that UShip website. You basically like put in the information of the truck, and then you'll just get bombarded with bids and stuff for it. Torres says that I blame you for me pulling the trigger on a trail hunter, then curse you. I'm sorry for making you spend money. I need to screenshot this, send it to Toyota so I can get a referral check. That's awesome. No, hey, definitely though, whatever you end up getting, sit in it, feel it out, slam the doors. Just make sure that you want it, because these trucks aren't cheap. They're not cheap at all. So make sure you want it. Drive it if possible, if they'll allow you to drive it. I don't see why they wouldn't. I mean, it's $70,000 almost. Like, they should allow you to drive a freaking vehicle, especially if you have your proof of funds and everything, right? So yeah, definitely make sure though that you do like it. I feel like of the TRD Pro and the Trail Hunter, I would probably honestly lean more towards Trail Hunter for this generation, just because not that I hate the isodynamic seats, but like if Toyota does the TRD Pro in the future with the ISO seats as an option, I feel like that would be the move. They're great, like I said, off-road. They're really good off-road. They do their part. But like for a majority of us that just want to drive the truck around, to get off-road, you have to drive on-road, right? But that's all I can say about that. I mean, they're good. They're good. And towards the end of the week, I was actually like, yeah, you know what? I'm getting used to these seats. So maybe it's something, too, for you to just get used to. But compared to just my normal Tacoma, they did take some getting used to, those ISO seats. What do you think will change, if anything, for the next year, 2025 GX 550, besides increasing the price? Probably not much. Maybe like just certain packages will change, or maybe like a darker midnight package or something like that. I don't know. The GX, honestly, for its appearances and everything, is pretty spot on. I don't know really if it would need anything else, or especially like for the next year. I don't see them really adding anything to it. Maybe just some package change-ups, honestly. Gaming with Zan said, is it true that the Sequoia is the only word in the English language that has a heavy vowel? Bro, I don't know. Here's Ryan. There are a few 7-letters in the dictionary or 7-letter words in the dictionary that have all 5 vowels. Well, there you go. That has every vowel, not a heavy. That's why I was like, what the heck? So there's our 5 words right there from Ryan and the good old Google. Yeah, there's so many words in the dictionary, though, guys. I guess that's one thing with AI. If all the information it gives you is true, there's a lot of stuff that it could just look up really quick. What life are you going with for your Tundra? It is going to have a pampered OEM plus life. I just purchased the tires for the truck. We got 5 tires coming, just because the spare is about 5 to 6 years old. And we're going bigger tires on the truck. So, and I read that you could fit upwards of a 35-inch tire underneath the spare tire spot on that truck. So I purchased 5 tires for the truck. The lift kit's coming for the truck. New rear springs, hopefully new upper control arms. I have some automatic running boards coming for it, a tonneau cover coming for it. We have speakers. I have a new head unit. I have floor mats. It needs a detail really bad still. My detailer, Chris, you guys can say congratulations to Chris in the next video. 100% Google, Ryan said. He just had twins, so a lot of our stuff that we had scheduled for my Toyota vehicles has been postponed because he's a new dad to new kids. But soon he's going to realize, like, I need to make some money for these kids. So hopefully he's able to do a paint correction on the Tundra for us. I'm going to get it ceramic coated as well, just because it's so big. I would really like to have the ceramic coat on the Tundra. And then eventually the truck will have some sort of boost, whether it be a turbocharger or supercharger, but I am really leaning towards the supercharger. Ryan says also, I don't fit in the Mark V. The slope of the roof keeps me from being able to get in. I fit fine in the Mark IV. Yeah, the Mark IV is definitely a bubble compared to the Mark V. That is for sure. The Mark V you really have to like fall into, because the rocker panels are huge on that car. You don't want to mess them up. And when you are sitting in that Supra, you are sitting in that Supra for sure. But man, it is such a fun driving car. F-Seb says, with the Tacoma and 4Runners being on the same platform and virtually same interiors, what separates them, and do you think that the 4Runner will ever have a removable top like the Bronco? I do not think that the 4Runner will ever have that again, unfortunately. The main thing that I feel like will separate the 4Runner versus the Tacoma is they're not going to be built in the same plant. They're going to be built in two completely different plants, different suppliers for all the materials inside the vehicle as well. So I really am hoping that the fact that the 4Runner is built in Japan is going to allow it to be different. With that too, it is also a different engineering team, whereas the Tundra and Sequoia were pretty much the same engineering team for both of those platforms. They're both built in the same plant. They're essentially the same vehicle, really, at the end of the day, with driving characteristics and everything. They really do feel like the same vehicle. So that is where I'm hoping that the 4Runner will separate itself from the Tacoma. It's made in Japan still. There's going to be different suppliers for the interior materials and stuff, right? I mean, it should all be the same Toyota quality, right? But we know that Japan, they're just higher quality workers and stuff. They hold themselves to different standards, it seems like, than other areas of the world. And with that too, from what I was told, the Tacoma, since it was built first and stuff, they basically took the best of the Tacoma with the TRD off-road, and then like that was one of their benchmarks for the 4Runner, like as it started, and then they've taken it from there to the next level. So I'm really, really hoping that the 4Runner is very, very good. That is what is making me not being so upset that the interior is the exact same, because I like the interior of the Tacoma. Like, I'm not upset about how it looks. It's just first world John problems, who has an issue of buying too many Toyotas, is that if I have a Tacoma and the 4Runner at the same time, I don't want them to feel like the exact same vehicle, if that makes sense. Chris Driven says, that's exactly what I do look for the last year of the trucks, unless you want a certain color. Exactly. So yeah, and I mean, even though Lunar Rock is overplayed on a bunch of new vehicles, right? It's like a TRD Pro 2nd Gen Tundra is the only year that you could get that color on that truck to allow it to be even more rare too. And then the Car Guy Online says, yep, road trip after a vehicle purchase is a blast to do it. For sure. You get to see the country. You get to really get to know the vehicle, whether that be good or bad. You may love the Tacoma. You may hate it. I don't know. But doing a road trip it's just the best. It's the best. 9 times out of 10, I would rather drive than fly, for sure. Unless it's just like a real quick trip that I just want to do it and get it done with. Yes, flying is obviously superior because it like is a fraction of the time, but driving is just, it's so much better in my opinion. Blue STI says, do you think it's a downgrade to trade a new Tundra for the Tacoma? The Tundra gets lousy MPG. I'm getting 14 in town. It's all stock. That is bad, bro. I was getting more than that with my Tundra on 37s. It's all how you drive. It is all how you drive for sure with the vehicle, but that's bad. I don't know why you're getting so bad in town with the Tundra. Maybe a lot of idle time. Maybe reset it to tank average versus average for the truck. I'm not sure. Or just try resetting it. But idle time kills vehicles. So that is, yeah, lead foot Larry. That's what I'm saying, bro. You're like, yeah, that's bad. I had 37s on the truck lifted, and my gauge was reading, by the time I took all the tires off on my Tundra, I think it was like at 14.8. And that means that the truck was technically a bit better because of the tire difference. So it was probably about 10 to 15% better than what that was actually reading. So, man, 14, that is no bueno. You're enjoying hearing those turbos for sure. Is it a downgrade, though, to answer your question? It depends if you need a full-size truck. Like, if you need a full-size truck to do full-size things, then obviously, yes, it's a downgrade. But in terms of just, like, the truck itself, I feel like the Tacoma is more of an upgrade over the Tundra. I don't know. It just feels put together, like, better. It feels more solid. If you get, like, a TRD Off-Road Premium or a Premium more version of it, you actually get acoustic glass with the truck. It just feels more solid, less wind noise for me. And the way the Tacoma drives, it drives as if it's a mini Tundra. So everything, steering wheel forward, it's the same exact steering wheel. Everything steering wheel going this way, 14-inch screen, whatever, if you get like a higher-end model, it feels like a Tundra. It feels like a mini Tundra. So I don't think it's a downgrade. We'll see how the next couple of years are with Tacoma resale values, right? Tundra, obviously, with the recalls, hasn't been the best. People are losing a lot of money on Tundras. Statistically, Tacomas are like the number one truck for resale value, right? So there's that too. There's a lot of things to consider. But if you're just looking strictly for MPG, then maybe you would be better off with the Tacoma with its stock. When my Tacoma was stock, like somewhat around town, but mostly highway, I was getting like 22 to 23 with my Tacoma. And now with the bigger tires on my Tacoma, and mostly it being around city here for me in Florida, my truck says 15.6, which is not good. But again, it's bigger tires. It's around like 16.5, 16.7 probably is what I'm averaging with my Tacoma right now. And that's, again, 90-pound tires in each corner, allowing that turbo to spool up. And that is the thing with turbo cars, is if that turbo's spooling, you're burning gas for sure. So if you don't need a full-size truck, I downgrade as soon as possible, so hopefully your truck don't lose that much value anymore, Brand 700 says, I think that it was a missed opportunity by Toyota to make the Tacoma and 4Runner interiors the same. I agree. Looking forward to your blue Tundra TRD Pro build and said, Supercharger. Yeah, I get why they did it, to make like things simpler and stuff, and to have all the same systems. So like if something is an issue on the Tacoma, hopefully they fix it for the 4Runner and vice versa, right? So it's to make both of those platforms over time really good. But like as like a world, right, that is almost intentionally, which it is, not getting into politics, unless you guys want to. We got 30 minutes left. I don't care. A world that is like intentionally getting more depressing, buildings with like no good architecture anymore, like things that aren't pushing the envelope anymore. It kind of sucks that a company just wants to do the same interior for money, like literally for money. It's easier for them to do it. It's easier to make the molds. It's easier for them to do everything. It makes sense too. Like I said, like if there's an issue with one of them, they can fix it for both, right? And prevent it for the future, instead of it being an issue for one, the 4Runner being completely different, blah, 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 whatever. So like I get that. But like from a consumer standpoint, again, not all consumers will have both. But honestly, like there are a lot of consumers that do have a 5th gen 4Runner and a 3rd gen Tacoma. I'm just saying, like there are a lot of Toyota enthusiasts that do have both. So maybe I'm not going to be the only idiot. There are a lot out there that do have a Tacoma for the husband, right, or wife, whatever, and a 4Runner for the husband or wife. Like couples seem to have both of those vehicles versus, a Tundra. So maybe once they upgrade, they're going to be like, this is literally the same vehicle. And that may turn a lot of people off. Enter the Land Cruiser. Maybe that's been Toyota's play this whole time. Hey, they don't want the 4Runner for 40 grand, 45 grand for an SR5 because it's the same one. They got a little extra money. 10 grand more, here's a Land Cruiser, different look, different interior. Dude, I don't know, right? But that, it does suck that they are the same interior. That was my number one gripe. When I saw the 4Runner for the first time, I tried not to look at photos. I actually didn't look at photos at all. They were showing us some photos prior to us actually seeing the vehicle. and also like the embargo information kind of like dropped with all the photos and stuff. I refuse to look at it. I refuse to see it because as a 4Runner like enthusiast, like not just because of my YouTube channel, right? But like my first vehicle was a 2nd gen 4Runner. I bought that 5th gen 4Runner, then started the YouTube channel. So like I love the 4Runner. I saw it. I was like, oh crap, dude, that's the new 4Runner. The back end, it all looked good. And then like I got inside, I was like, this is exactly like the Tacoma. And it was a letdown. It was definitely a letdown for sure. But you know, maybe the materials that are used in Japan and the higher quality of the vehicle getting put together will you could feel the difference maybe, and hopefully too, like depending on which grade you get, maybe will be a little bit different. So we'll see. But yeah, it was a letdown, and I will be giving you guys more content with the Tundra soon. I'm really trying my hardest to like have each one of the vehicles at least like a week or by like a minimum of every other week, like show themselves on the channel, because I don't want to have these vehicles, right, and go 2-3 weeks without showing one on the channel, and then people are like, oh, I thought you got rid of that. So trying to keep my personal vehicles in everyone's eyes, while also slowly taking on more and more press vehicles. At what intervals do you think to change your oil when you get your new Toyotas? I go every 10,000. Some people do a 5K. Some people do a 1K. Just look at your stuff, right? The sheets inside the glove box. Your what's that thing called? Instruction manual, and just see what the vehicle recommends. As Merlin says, it's 45K for an SR5. You shut your mouth. I forget that, dude. The current SR5s right now for this is the crazy thing, and we talked about it last live stream too. Like current SR5s are in the 40s, right, to mid 40s. So hopefully, you know, with this new Gen 4Runner, it really only bumps up like 1,000 to 2,000 MSRP. Hopefully it doesn't. Aside from the TRD Pro and Trail Hunter, you know those are going to be close to like 65, 70 grand for sure. But like hopefully all the other models are around the same, because Toyota's been milking the absolute piss out of the 5th gen 4Runner. They've been milking the crap out of that. So hopefully they're not like, hey, here's the new one, here's a jacked up price. It's like, dude, what the heck, man? Like, you guys have been milking this cow forever. Yeah, or 5K less. Like, that would be nice too, you know? Like, gosh, yeah, warranty and maintenance guide. So for your oil and stuff, right? Like, for me, technically, should I have gone 10,000 miles for the Tacoma? Probably not. It probably would have been beneficial if I did it at my 5K service, but like I wasn't towing heavy with it. It was mostly freeway miles. It wasn't heavy stop and go traffic with the truck, right? So Toyota says in their maintenance manual, or their warranty and maintenance guide, to like depending on what you're doing. If you're towing a lot with it, you gotta change it earlier, right? If you're in complete dusty conditions, like if you live out on a farm and the truck is always on a dusty road, you gotta change your oil earlier. So I was in very dusty situations, maybe for like 1,000 to 1,500 miles for my Tacoma. So, I probably should have. But like, I don't know. They said the oil was good. I got to trust them, I guess. But truck's still running right now, right? Fitz11 says, would you upgrade from another cruiser to the new Land Cruiser if you spent a bunch of money to upgrade the electronics and the FJ Cruiser? They're two really completely different vehicles if I'm reading your question right. Like if you're going from a FJ Cruiser to a normal Land Cruiser or this new Prado or whatever that we have in the United States, man, it's hard because they're two completely different vehicles. They really are. One's more of like a 4Runner vibe. The other one is just rugged, you know, it's just very rugged and old school. The 1958 is kind of like the FJ in a sense where it's just very bare bones, plasticky. But again, it's expensive. So if it was me personally, I would, if it is paid off, I would just have a paid off Land Cruiser or a FJ Cruiser. And then maybe in a couple years, pull the trigger on a Land Cruiser, right? Because this first edition is going away. This is only this year. Not sure what they'll do next year, if they're going to replace it with something, or the year after that, right? I don't know. Could we see a TRD Pro? Could we see a Trail Hunter? I don't know. All I know is a Trail Hunter would be sick, because then you would have a little snorkel right here, and it would make all those cool sounds that the Tacoma does with the turbos and everything. That would be cool. But it's just interesting because it's a global platform. Will we see a GR Land Cruiser? That would be cool. I don't know. I will tell you this, though. Seeing all of them in Dubai and everything, and those dudes modifying them, putting steelies and just revving the piss out of these Land Cruisers, I am excited to see what, if Toyota has their like binoculars on what those dudes in Dubai are doing, and then like maybe give us something crazy like that for here for the United States. You're welcome, man. Bring back the V6. V6 ain't coming back, unfortunately. It ain't coming back. Warranty or reliability aside, Toyota's going all in because of government regulations and standards. And in all fairness, these new engines and new powertrains, they drive better. So I get the reason for a V6, reliability and just keep it tried and true in what it was. But like that 4Runner's a dog, dude. It's such a dog compared to like this Land Cruiser. I'd rather drive this Land Cruiser all day for like just driving, right? But I did drive the 4Runner a bit last week, and I was like, man, this is nice to just be in something old school. But it has its place. It definitely has its place. So the V6 is great. It's awesome. I'm always looking for older vehicles to add to a collection one day. Super clean Toyota T100 one day with like the 3.4 V6 in it. I don't know if they put the 4.0 in the T100 towards the tail end. I think that was just in the first gen Tundra. I think it was only the 3.4. Unless there's a rare T100 out there with the 4.0. I don't think that there is. Toyota saving money and getting cheap, it's too bad. Not caring about the customer, it's all about the dollar. They still care about the customer. It is apparent, though, that they are shifting towards a more streamlined production, but they do still care about the customer. If they didn't care about the customer, then no one would buy a Toyota again, and they would go under. So I think them doing this whole recall, replacing 100,000+ engines, right? That definitely shows you that they do care about their customer. Maybe not as much as the past, if that's apparent to people, but like any business, they need to make money, and them streamlining stuff could be good for reliability and also for them to make money too. Oil changes are not dependent on dust. You change your oil regularly because gasoline. I don't know. Take that up with Toyota then, Fitz, because per the manual, it says if you're in a dusty condition, to change it more. Maybe it's because the air filter allows some dust particles to pass through it, get through the throttle body intake into the engine. I don't know, but yeah, per their instruction manual or the maintenance guide, it does say if you're living on dusty roads to change it earlier. I don't know why, but it does. Heck, even the 2025 Porsche 911 is going hybrid. Yeah, bro. So here's the thing about hybrids, right? Is like, once people drive a hybrid for performance, it changes. They're like, oh crap, this is actually good. I am a huge fan of hybrid technology in the form of performance. Like the Prime vehicles, like a RAV4 Prime, oh my God, that car is a rocket ship, dude, for a little RAV4. So I'm excited for the day if Prime is across the whole Toyota lineup, right? A Prime Land Cruiser, Prime Tacomas, Prime Tundras and stuff, getting 70 miles of EV range, but then not always having to go to a supercharger and wait forever and all that stuff, and you still have the gas engine. So Prime and hybrid technology are like the absolute best. And when it comes to hybrid for performance, it helps eliminate the turbo lag. It helps get the vehicle up and going. And, sometimes you get micro MPG improvements from it. So I think that hybrid technology in the form of performance is like really good. I'm not a fan of full EV. I'm just not. But I am a fan of it when it comes to the performance aspect. Like this Land Cruiser it's so good to drive. It is so good to drive. That Tacoma that I drove all last week was so good to drive in that truck form. Yeah, it's so much better. The T100 had a 3-point slow and the 3.4. Okay, so I definitely won't get a 3-point slow when it is time for that. But yeah, I went on Mark Tundra Dude 34's YouTube channel, and if you guys watch his channel, let me know down in the comments. But I did invite him to potentially be on a live stream with me. So if you guys want him to join next week's live stream, just let me know in the comments, or just give a thumbs up emoji or something like that. He's strictly Tundra, but he is a cool dude. We talk all the time on the phone, like outside of YouTube and stuff, about everything. So he's trying to grow his channel and get it bigger and stuff, and he really wants to buy a new Tundra. So I figured it'd be cool to do like a collaboration with him. You do watch him time and time. All right. But he did a Mount Rushmore. Comes up with quirky ideas. Video about like the top Tundras and stuff that he would have on his Mount Rushmore. And the T100 was there because it was a predecessor to what the Tundra actually was. And dude, I went online afterwards because I was like, dude, a clean T100 is so nice. And there's a 300,000 mile black TRD off-road T100 that looks freaking mint. How this truck has 300,000 miles on it and looks that good is absolutely mind-blowing. It has the locking hubs and everything up front. Super clean SR5 one. It has all the graphics and everything on it for like 13 grand. And I was just like, man, that is just so clean. It's so cool. It was built in Japan, which I couldn't remember that it was, but then when Mark talked about it in his video, so it did have the 25% chicken tax and everything on that when it came over, but it was a Toyota truck that was built in Japan that was brought over, and then that was the last Toyota pickup truck to be built in Japan for us in the United States. So I mean, it was just so cool, and having a truck like that in the future would be dope. I also want like a normal Toyota pickup, like a street truck kind of, and just a lot of fun stuff. All through the future. But that just goes back to the thing of like bring the V6s back. Like I don't care if the V6s come back or anything like that for like the 4Runner and whatnot, just because those trucks just, they have their time and place, right? Like if you want to feel old school, you want to throw your dogs in the back of the 4Runner, roll the windows down, drive a freaking tank, that's what the 4Runner's for or whatnot. When I get my first gen 4Runner, take the top off, go down to the beach with it, right? Just that's what that truck is for. Yeah. Sean says, took my deposit back when to another dealer, upgrade to the Suspension King 2.5 adjustable, resis and all that stuff. Good. Good to hear that then, Sean. All right, perfect. Taking it to another dealership, getting that Tundra, that is awesome. That's going to be a super clean build. 35 by 12 and a halves. It's a good size. I know you're going to want to go bigger tires as well. Maybe you will in the future. But yeah, that's going to be a nice, clean-looking truck for sure. Well, if you guys have any more questions, we are at about an hour and a half. We like to do these live streams at about an hour and a half to 2 hours. So if questions are flowing, then we will answer them. But I am considering bringing on a guest for next week. So I think that would be cool. Or maybe skipping a week. I don't know. I do enjoy just doing the live streams and stuff all the time with you guys, just to give a break. And I know that even though, like 60 to 100 people tune in during, there's a lot of people actually that watch after the fact. I get comments all the time, which is pretty cool, that people just watch on their way to work and all that too. Yeah, you could send me a Facebook message, I think, to the TRD John, or you may even be able to comment. I'm not sure if you're able to comment on the Facebook posts with a photo. I don't know if my account allows that. Probably not, because of all the spam crap that's out there. Oh my gosh, dude. Facebook lately has been doing a lot of spam comments and stuff all the time. And even on YouTube too. Like, if you guys, whenever a video launches on YouTube, if you're able to beat the spam comments that have like the freaking nude girl in their profile pic and like all this stuff. Oh, what a great video. You did so good. Those are so annoying. I don't know how YouTube just doesn't realize that those are spam. Every single video I post, I delete 5 spam comments on YouTube. And now the auto parts ones on freaking Facebook are starting to come up all the time too. So you may not be able to send it, Sean, on Facebook as a comment, like a comment reply, but you may be able to DM it to me, and I would have to accept that as well. The new 4Runner will sell, though, like hotcakes. I think they are just waiting to make sure the Taco platform is reliable. I can agree with that, too, right? Because they just don't want issue after issue with all these vehicles when they come out. So I think the Taco has been relatively fine, right? Except for some transmission issues and stuff here and there. Some people having heating issues. The suspension stuff, too. And just minor things with the Tacoma, like some fit and finish stuff. So hopefully that is... being addressed, one, not only for the Tacoma, but also for the 4Runner. Oh my gosh, dude. I just like pounded down like steak bites before I came out here. And I think too, it's from that freaking ice cream last night, guys. When I cheat hard because I know my stomach, no matter what, is going to be wrecked. And so I had some egg rolls yesterday because my wife, she makes like these amazing egg rolls. So I had those yesterday. And then I had ice cream at the end of the day. And I knew I was going to be wrecked, and now I feel like the gross heartburn and everything. Even though yesterday was Monday, it was kind of a weekend day for us too, because my wife had like some surgery stuff that she had to do, and then so she was knocked out, and it like didn't take up my whole day, but I was on like baby duty. I don't even know if she's still watching, but I was on like baby duty with her, and I don't know, it just kind of made me be in a little bit of a lazy mindset as well yesterday. Brand says, thank you for answering all the questions and comments. Of course. No, I enjoy answering everyone's comments. Cripple Curry says, thanks, Sean. Really enjoy hanging out with you in the community. It's awesome. I enjoy doing the live streams just because people are able to comment whatever they want to know, whether it be Toyota stuff or future potential stuff or life stuff or questions about the DJI Osmo freaking action or Pocket 3 that I have, potential YouTube creator that maybe wants to do stuff and maybe that's his camera of choice. Just whatever you guys, talk about is what we typically talk about here. But I do see the comments slowing down. Frank, just joining in. Another member on the channel says, I never remember to get here early enough. It's all good, sir. Yeah, we usually do it at about 7 o'clock Central, which would be about 5 o'clock Arizona time. But it's all good. It's all good. We are wrapping up, though, but I appreciate you being a member and always commenting on videos and stuff. Thank you so much. And I actually just got off the phone. I keep saying that I did, but earlier today with Jeff, I was on the phone with him talking about some stuff with the Land Cruiser. So hopefully I can make it look as cool as that GX of yours. We will see. Jed says, can you fit a 35-inch tire on a stock Tacoma rim? I believe you could on the Pro and Trail Hunter wheels. I believe those are 8.5 inches wide. They are a wider wheel, and it should be... Sorry, I was reading Sean's message. It should be good for that to have that on it. Sean sent an email of his SR5 Sport. Dang, sent a bunch of pictures. I am in the garage, so I will look at these when I get inside. Let's see if we could open this one up real quick. Ooh, got the King shocks there. Dang. Oh, that does look good. I like the bronze wheels that you put on it, too. That looks really good. Doing it all in the driveway, too? Heck yeah, man. That's awesome that you're able to do that. I love that. Thank you for sharing those, Sean. Daniel says, John, you and your wife should do a real estate channel. I would be your first subscriber. So when we do move down to the Tampa area, I am going to really help her get her YouTube channel going because there's a lot of homes going in this certain area that we're looking to buy in, and I think that it would really help her out. So I'm going to help her out with it, and I told her that she should do her Airbnb stuff on there and some of our rental flips and all that stuff. I did record like some stuff over while we were renovating our last property, but I didn't really put it into a video. I thought I was going to be able to, but it just moved so fast, and like I missed some things that I didn't want to miss and whatnot, so I just didn't make a video of it. I thought it would have been good, but I did include it into a Tacoma vlog video at one point, but I would like to do that. There are quite a few of those channels out there. So, I mean, I don't know what we would really do. And I want to do that when we're at a point where there's consistent content with it too. Not just like, hey, we're going to check on the Airbnb again. This is what it looks like. Hey, we're going to clean this and look at this. Like, it would have to be consistent content for sure. So it'd be whether it's her talking about new houses and stuff in the area, interest rates, all this new stuff, finding new properties and flipping them, and also making new Airbnbs. I feel like that's when it would be time to do a channel with consistent content. Not like weekly, like 5 videos a week or something like that, but it would have to be at least 1 to 2 videos a week would make me want to make a channel about that if we were able to do that. But guys, I'm going to wrap up now. I appreciate everyone who stopped into the live stream. If you guys could leave a like on your way out for everyone else that missed it, I would appreciate it a lot. And we will catch you all next Tuesday. We do have a bunch of videos coming this week for the Tacoma and also the Blue Tundra and also Tacoma TRD Pro videos as well. So guys, I appreciate you all joining into the live stream. Daniel, thank you so much. Sean, everyone coming in. Taco Hog, what's up, man? Everyone go subscribe to Taco Hog 2. Always here supporting the channel. I appreciate it, man. Everyone, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your week.